And today we are actually going to look at both of these sections. You can see just like this one line right here, and then these two measurement conversions. So today we're going to be talking about measuring or doing measurement conversions involving mass and capacity. So when we're talking about mass, we're talking about grams and kilograms. And when we're talking about capacity or liquid volume, we're talking about liter and milliliters. So join me in part 2 of this video. We're going to go through, we're completing lesson 13.5 on page 497. So make sure you have your textbook ready and a pencil to write with. All right, so we are going to get started on lesson 13-5. And today we're going to be talking about metric units of capacity and mass. So when you're looking at your reference sheet, right, in part 1 of this video, we took a look at that, and we know that with capacity, we're talking about volume. So liters that are abbreviated with that capital L and milliliters. We know that this is the larger unit of measurement, and this one is smaller. Then with mass, we're talking about kilograms and grams. We know that kilograms is bigger, grams is smaller. There's something the video did not point out, so I want to share with you guys really quick. Hopefully you can see this okay. So we know that in the video they talked about like liters, the bigger unit of measurement, and they even showed like the 2-liter bottles of soda. Like if you ever order pizza or you go to the grocery store and you get a 2-liter bottle, so that's 2 liters, but they didn't show you guys much about like milliliters. So take a look. I have my daughter, there's like from Publix, right? You get these little syringes that dispense medicine, so liquid medicine. And if you look at the side here, you can see these abbreviations, ml for milliliters. Sorry about that glare. There we go, it's better. So you can see here, this goes from 1 milliliters all the way to 10 milliliters. So keeping in mind what your reference sheet tells us, that there are 1,000 milliliters in 1 liter. So I might even want to jot that down right here, that 1 liter is equal to 1,000 milliliters. So that's the measurement conversion that we know. And again, you're going to have to constantly flip back and forth between your reference sheet and these problems in the book, because we don't necessarily have all of these conversions memorized. We're not expected to. But now let's look at this question. And you should be following right along, so make sure you have a pencil. If you don't, pause the video and please go get the materials you need to follow along. Right here. Jenny has 3 liters of water. How many milliliters of water does she have, and what is the mass of the water in grams? So there's like 2 whole parts to this question. One where we're focused on the converting of liters to milliliters, and then part 2 where now we have to figure out the mass of her water. Well, let's start with the capacity, so referring to the conversion of liters to milliliters, and knowing that there are 1,000 milliliters in 1 liter. So let's take a look. If we have 3 liters, then obviously we're going to have 3,000 milliliters, again, because we're going to multiply by 1,000. So that answers the first part of our question. She has 3,000 milliliters. But now, what about the second part? What is the mass in grams? Well, look down here. I see a bottle here, a water bottle. Some water bottles hold 1 liter or 1,000 milliliters, so they reminded us of that conversion. 1 liter of water has a mass of 1 kilogram or 1,000 grams. So again, this part of 1 kilogram is equal to 1,000 grams. That's the conversion that we need to know, and if we don't know it, which we really shouldn't have it memorized yet, it's on our reference sheet. So now let's look back at this question. What are we supposed to do? We have to find the mass of the water in grams. Okay. So they said that 1 liter of water has a mass of 1 kilogram. Well, we have 3 liters. So 3 liters has a mass of about 3 kilograms. So if we wanted to find that mass in grams, now we have to convert 3 kilograms to how many grams? Well, we know kilo means 1,000, and they just told us or reminded us of what's on our reference sheet, that 1 kilogram is equal to 1,000 grams. So this measurement would be not 1,000, it would be, you caught it, 3,000 grams. Excellent. Let's turn the page. Now we're looking right up here. Lewis needs 8 liters of apple juice. 8 liters is what he needs. He has 5,000 milliliters of juice. Does Lewis have enough apple juice? So let's first convert what he needs. If he needs 8 liters, then how many milliliters is that equivalent to? Well, they've included that section of your reference sheet to remind you that 1 liter is equivalent to 1,000 milliliters. So if he needs 8, then he needs 8,000 milliliters. What he has is 5,000. So we know that right away, no, he does not have enough. And if we wanted to take that one step further, how many more does he need? We could take 8,000 that he needs, subtract the 5,000 that he has, and I bet you've already done that in your head, right? These all cancel out, and 8 minus 5 is 3. So he needs still 3,000 what? Liters or milliliters? Yeah, milliliters. Okay, let's turn the page. Now let's look at this question. What metric unit would you use to measure your mass? Oh. Well, mass means we're talking about grams. Grams, they said in the video, if you're holding something that's like a gram weight, right? They said that it kind of feels like you're holding 1 regular paper clip. That's about a gram. Well, there's a unit of measurement that's smaller than a gram, and that's a milligram. And there's also a unit of measurement that's larger than a gram, and that's a kilogram. And the relationship between these two is pretty cool, right? You kind of start here with the gram. There's 1,000 milligrams in 1 gram. And in 1 kilogram, there are 1,000 grams. Pretty cool, huh? So if I want you to think now about your body, how would you measure your mass? What unit would you use? Would it make sense to talk about paper clips? I don't know. I think you might need several of those. So if it wouldn't make sense to use paper clips, it's definitely not going to make sense to use milligrams. That's even smaller. And what about kilograms? That's the largest unit, so it does make sense that we would use kilograms to measure our mass. But now look at the second part. What about the amount of blood in your body? Well, blood is a liquid, so I guess that's referring to capacity. Now let's think about what we've learned about capacity. We said that milliliters, remember, that's like Bryn's medicine dropper. That's 1 milliliter. Would it make sense to measure the amount of blood in your body using 1 milliliter? Probably not. That's kind of like if you scratch yourself or like pick a scab or something and it starts to bleed. That's probably about the amount of blood you would lose. But what about the larger unit? Liter. Remember, a liter is kind of like this 1 liter bottle of water. Would it make sense to measure the amount of blood in your body using milliliters or liters? Right. We're going to use liters to measure the amount of blood. Let's look at problems 2 and 3. We have to convert each unit. So 6 grams is equal to how many milligrams? Well, we know from our reference sheet that it's kind of like in the middle, we have grams, correct? And we learned on that reference sheet that 1 gram is equal or equivalent to 1,000 milligrams, right? These are smaller than a gram. Well, if I know that, then I know that 6 grams would be multiplying by 1,000 and equal 6,000 milligrams. Now let's look at this problem. The last one we're going to do together. We're converting liters to milliliters. Well, kind of like grams to milligrams, my reference sheet tells me that there are 1,000 milliliters in 1 liter, right? That's the part that I know. And if I know that I have to multiply by 1,000, then I'm going to do the same here. So 9 times 1,000, you've already done it in your head. It's 9,000 milliliters. So you guys are going to practice with mass and capacity. You're doing problems 4 through 10. Right here, you have to determine which metric unit you would use to measure each. So medicine in a pill, ink in a pen, or the mass of a pencil. Then you're going to turn the page after you practice converting, and you are going to solve problems 11 through 14. So applying what you've learned to some word problems. You do have an exit ticket, and we will meet at 2 o'clock to go over these practice problems.